let's move to low breathing or deep breathing. So this is talking about the biomechanical side of breathing, i.e., what muscles do we use when we breathe? If your breathing is efficient and functional, it involves using the diaphragm properly. Okay, and this is where low breathing comes into play. And recruitment of the diaphragm is essential for stability and performance on the bike. So if you go back to day one, if you remember, I mentioned the diaphragm is actually a really important part of our core. Diaphragm sits here on the lower ribs and it works with our pelvic floor and also the sides of our waist, the obliques. And then, so if you think of this core area as a cylinder, you've got the diaphragm at the top, pelvic floor at the bottom. Down the sides, you've got the obliques. And then front and back, we've got our abdominals. So we've got the transverse abs, the deepest layer, like that's almost like a wraparound belt. And then the more superficial six pack, so they say. And then we've got our deep spinal stabilizers. And all those muscles work together to create intra-abdominal pressure, which helps provide our spine and pelvis with stability. However, if we are breathing through our mouth, we are not able to recruit the diaphragm properly. And we're much more likely to be using our chest and even maybe neck muscles to breathe. And that then is going to affect our stability. It can then lead to back pain. Okay, so I think 50% of people who experience lower back pain have got dysfunctional breathing. That is how important breathing using your diaphragm is. And breathing through the nose, you will have a better recruitment of that diaphragm. If we're on a bike as well, breathing through the neck, through the chest muscles is going to result in poor posture. Could also result in neck pain. So I know on day one I mentioned neck pain could be to do with how we support our body on the bike, i.e. shoulders up, all our weight through our arms, but our breathing can also contribute to that. So if you are someone who does suffer from neck pain, that might be something to think about as well. And then because we're not able to recruit the core properly, there's going to be a loss of energy. We're going to have much more energy leaks in our body whilst we climb. And then we're going to have to work so much harder for our speed. So recruitment of the diaphragm, absolutely essential for being efficient on the bike and also to be able to ride pain-free as well. A good way of checking if you do recruit the diaphragm is placing your hands on your lower ribs, like so. And what you want to be focusing on when you breathe is, so as you breathe in, you want your hands to expand laterally. So what we're looking for is a lateral expansion of the rib cage. Now, I know when you go to yoga, quite often you're told to belly breathe. So you place your hands on your belly and we're looking at moving the belly in and out. So that's not wrong, but the problem with that is quite often you're not recruiting the obliques in doing so. And the sides of the waist, the obliques, are really important in terms of being able to control rotational force. And being able to control rotational force whilst you climb or even run is vital for efficiency and performance. So you've just got to think, hands on handlebars, that force is transmitting all the way through your body down to the pedals, and your body isn't static like this. It's actually, there's movement, there's lateral movement, and a lot of that is done through those obliques. So that's why being able to breathe with your bottom of your rib cage expanding out is so important, rather than just the belly moving in and out. So something to think about. next time you're at your yoga class doing your belly breathing.